Y así arranca la última parte de este gran programa del día de la fecha. Les es toda la fábrica escuchando a The Leisure, que ya están conectados con nosotros para hablar, redefinir, repensar todo lo que tiene que ver con la industria de la música. Hello, my friend, are you listening me good?
Good, I'm very good, thank you. How are you doing? You okay?
We are excellent. My name is Mano. We are live. I'm gonna leave you with Raulo. He's gonna make you a questionnaire to make all the bands around the world. And later we are talking about the present of Adult Leisure. Are you okay?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Raulo,
Check sound name. Everything is okay. We are live. We are going to start with the interview. So please tell us your full name, where are you from, and how old are you?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Neil Scott. I'm the singer from Adult Leisure. I'm in the 30s, yeah, but it's a pleasure to be here.
Perfect. And how old are you?
34.
34. Excellent. And the other guy?
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Luke Denham. I'm the bassist in Adult Leisure, and I'm 34 as well.
The bass player. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I'm a bass player. So,
nice.
Yes,
Nice.
yes. I'm Manu is a guitar player. And which is your first memory of you listening to music?
First memory, probably in the car, driving on road trips with my mum and dad, listening to Simply Red and the Nolans and all that type of thing. I think those are probably my oldest memories within music for sure.
Say Mike Hagnall, the red one. It's beautiful. Simply Red.
Simply Red.
I'm a big fan of
red
Simply
one.
Red. Yes, exactly. And for you?
Mine was actually, I remember listening to Billy Joel in the car that was on cassette. And that was, so it was Billy Joel for me actually. And that was in the car with my parents as well.
The piano man.
Yeah, exactly.
When you were young. And which was your first instrument, and which was the first song that you learned?
The first song that we've learned, and what was the other question? Sorry.
And the first instrument.
The first instrument. I've always sang. I would love to be able to play guitar, but I don't have the attention span, I think. But I been singing for probably all my life.
Wow.
And if I wasn't singing, I was talking a lot. So it was usually that.
So, I have a question, because when you were young, you were a singer. So which people do you play?
Which
people do you play? Because I'm a bass player. I can play with a guitar player, with a drummer, and the singer. Which who are your friends?
In terms of the singer and the
in school. You sing in the school, and which kind of people do you meet?
We met lots of people in school. I think I wasn't really in bands all the way through school. It tended to be a lot of kind of pop music, a lot of R&B and hip hop and all that sort of things. It wasn't until I kind of left school that I started to get more involved with bands. I mean, myself and Luke met in our first bands probably in our late teens, and have been friends ever since.
And you are from Bristol.
Yes.
And
that's right. Yeah.
The hip hop was big enough in Bristol. You have a strong.
In Bristol. Bristol's got a huge music scene. I think from back in the day. I think everything from trip hop to hip hop, right through to everything you see today with the likes of Idols and stuff. Bristol's got a bustling music scene, so it's great to be a part of that really, and start creating our own thing there.
Okay, that kind of thing. The trip hop Massive Attack is incredible. Massive Attack, I really love Massive Attack. And for you, which was your first instrument?
Oh yeah, so my first instrument was guitar, and the first song I learned was "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Along with millions of other kids, I reckon, at the time. Yeah, but yeah, it Smells Like Teen Spirit.
And MTV was big in Bristol.
MTV was huge. I think MTV was huge everywhere.
Yeah.
And seeing a lot of bands certainly around that time was a big influence. In terms of the bands that we were kind of growing up with.
Okay, and you have a big grunge scene in Bristol too, or not really big?
I think this scene in Bristol is. It feels like there's like a change coming at the moment. I think when Idols sort of skyrocketed, the Bristol scene became kind of rife with a lot of post-punk bands. I think if you swang a cat in Bristol, you'd hit a post-punk band. So it's kind of cool to be part of this new wave of melodic like pop rock music, where actually it's more about the emotion in that kind of way. It's something new and fresh coming through Bristol at the moment.
Perfect. You agree with that?
Yeah. So I think when me and Neil were in our first band, it was heavy indie. So it was just it's around 2008. So when the back end of Arctic Monkeys, when that kind of burst through the UK and the world. And now it's kind of shifted a bit, to be honest with you. So it was pretty post-punk here for a while, and it seems to be shifting into what Neil said, to be honest with you. But there's always there's a huge house scene in Bristol as well. Huge house scene. So that's always around as well at the minute.
Party. Exactly.
Yeah. I can Bristol's 24-hour party people in Bristol.
I can imagine that.
Pablo, de este circuito de Bristol que estamos hablando, que se nada, ¿cuál es el lugar donde todos aspiran a tocar?
Manu wants to know, in Bristol, which is the main stage where everybody wants to play?
I think we were lucky enough to, at the end of 2024, play at Bristol's O2 Academy.
Okay.
I think that was somewhere growing up in the Bristol music scene, just to go out with your friends and drink and see incredible bands there was always part of it. To be able to have said now that we played that venue is quite something. It was a real incredible moment to finish the year on. Other than that, Thekla and the Louisiana are two incredible venues in Bristol that are a real big part of breaking a lot of new bands. I think the local and grassroots music scene, there are a lot of those venues really struggling at the moment, and they have a huge part of the history within Bristol music.
I have a personal question. Why do you think that, for example, I'm living in Barcelona now, Manu is living in Buenos Aires, in not every city, the pubs, the bars support new music. Why do you think that in Bristol they support the new bands,
I think it's just always been, for as long as I can remember, that the kind of your rock bands, so rock pop bands, being able to have those venues have been supported for as long as I can remember. But I think that the struggle now with that would be kind of down to the fact that people probably haven't got the money to be able to go to these venues and are staying in, rather than being able to get a chance to get out there and because of that disparity in finances for a lot of people, your venues are really struggling. So I think it's incredible that those things have always existed, but if we keep going and we keep supporting these venues, then that's how you're going to see the bands of tomorrow.
Okay.
Now,
It's around the people goes there and the bar support the bands. Okay, perfect. Ahí está la diferencia, Manu.
Qué buena data recopilamos, Raúl.
Sí, tremendo. It's incredible for us speak about this, with people from Bristol. Thanks for that. And can you tell us which was the first concert that you went?
The first concert? I'm not sure. I think I don't think I went to a lot of concerts when I was a kid, and it wasn't until I was in music and me and Luke were in bands. Those were probably the first concerts that we were at. Were literally the ones that we were playing at. But I remember seeing, who did I see the first time? Who was the first band that you saw, Luke?
Mine was I was 14 and I saw Blink 182 in Cardiff. That was my first one.
It's okay.
Nice.
Beautiful bass player. He plays beautiful the bass. It's okay.
Oh yeah, he's an incredible bassist.
And the drummer, it's okay. And you
not the guitarist. Okay.
And you remember it? The first big concert?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think I remember the first time I went to Glastonbury Festival when I was like 19, and like just seeing these bands that I'd idolized for such a long time, like on a stage like the Pyramid stage. That was a moment for me where I was just like, oh my god, like I have to do that. That's something I have to experience. I have to set out to do. And now, yeah, lucky enough to still be doing it, 10 or so years later with some of my best friends. It's pretty something.
Nice, of course, yes. And can you tell us how did Adult Leisure begin and why you put that name?
So, in terms of when it started, I think we'd all been in bands before. So, myself, Dave, our guitarist and songwriter, and Nath, our drummer, had been in other bands in the Bristol music scene for a long time, and we knew each other fairly well. But then our bands all stopped, all finished, and lockdown happened across the world. We all had part of that. And I think we all missed doing music. We all missed, like, there was something greater than what we were doing at that time. And I mean, Dave has got like his own sort of side of things of the way that he kind of saw that. From my part in it, I just remember having seen Dave just before lockdown, and we spoke briefly about maybe doing some music together at some point in the future, very loosely. And then lockdown was kind of underway, and I sent him I put something on my Instagram story, and I said that, if anyone's got any music whatsoever that I can get involved with, like let me know, message me. And Dave messaged me some songs, and then we started having a conversation, and then we met up when lockdown sort of calmed down, at a local pub, and had a conversation with just like, should we do this? Like, it was me, Dave, our former bassist James, and then I think we were keen on the idea, and then we dropped a message through to our drummer. I literally text Nathan one message, just said, have you got a drum set? Do you want to be in a rock band? And yeah, then the rest was kind of history. And then about a year and a half later was when we did our first released our first single, sold out our first show, and then here we are now. It's been quite something. But of course, the name, I think you asked about the name of the song. I think we've all got different ideas of how that started. I think we were a bit unsure of what to do. Dave had come up with this idea playing on the title track from David Bowie's song Teenage Wildlife, and we were thinking of having the name Adult in there somewhere to make it a bit sexy and a bit sort of like, ooh, a bit naughty, just not sure quite how to take it. And then we put that together, and we were going to call it Adult Wildlife, went with Adult Leisure, and here we are. And now people, when you Google us, you have to make sure you're being very careful when you're Googling that you're putting up, the band instead of something completely different.
Exactly. See, we can understand that. It happens somewhere.
Yes.
In March of 2022, you released your first single, Things You Don't Know Yet. How was the recording process?
It was very different than what it is now. I think because it was, we wanted to make sure that at the beginning, we started, when we played our first show, we wanted it to be like almost like a fully fledged like project and product of having a song out, having a video out, having a whole set, having, this thing, rather than just playing some shows, etc., etc. When we recorded that song, this was all done in our bedrooms. Like all of the songs that we had at the beginning were ideas sent over WhatsApp, with Dave maybe having like this idea of this particular like sort of demo that he had at the time. I maybe had some lyrics or a melody that I quite liked, hashing that together, maybe that fits. Nath would literally had his like electric kit set up in his bedroom, and he'd just record, and then before you know it, like these ideas that we were sending over WhatsApp became the first sort of image of what adult leisure was starting to look like. So that first single was all bedroom recordings. It was all bedroom recordings. The drums are are electric drums, but you wouldn't know.
Wow.
But we wanted to make sure that we had something out, and I think what we were able to achieve with such limitations was something pretty special. So.
No, of course. And now the new song. So you changed many things in the recording process. What happened?
Yes, I think what happened. I think the possibility of being able to use a studio happened. Like, I think being able to grow our team, this team from four people through to having Ollie Searle, our producer, on board, is like literally the fifth member of this band. I think to be able to have him on board with that process as well also elevated things. So you have being able to record in a proper studio, being able to use incredible equipment. Our songwriting developed. I mean, Dave's an incredible songwriter in his own right. He's come on so much over the last few years. I think all in all of these things have probably helped to be able to craft, I think, some of the best work we've ever done.
It's incredible. It was the first time that you went to a studio?
Say again?
It was the first time that you went to a studio?
Yeah, no, we've been to studios before in previous bands and stuff, but as adult leisure, coming, I think probably the first time we were in the studio was around Bad Idea. So when we put Bad Idea out blimey, it wouldn't be last summer, it'd be the summer before, 2 years ago now. But when we put that song out, that was the first time we were in the studio starting to record and finding our feet with that process. Fast forward to Borderline and Kiss Me Like You Miss Her, and we have this machine going now.
Exactly.
It's exciting. It's really exciting, and we're getting some incredible work from it.
I think that is the word. It's a machine working. I completely agree with that. And do you have any composition process?
I think in terms of the way we write, how do we write?
Exactly.
Yeah. So in terms of kind of that process, Dave's writing all the time. So he'll have so many ideas that before you know it, we've got 6 or 7 WhatsApps building in a day of just these little ideas that he's throwing out there. And once we go from that and we kind of, we really like 1, 2, 3 of them, it would then be a case of beginning to work on taking them from a demo to the fully fledged thing. So I maybe have some lyrics, Dave has some lyrics there, I'll get round to Dave's house and we'll hash together our more kind of polished demo, and then from that point we will then take it to the studio. Right. And then it's a case of just layering it, so starting with the drums, building them with the bass and the guitar and the synths, and then I get to come in at the end and polish this thing at the end, which is a lot of fun.
Sí, a lot of work too. Manu, tenés
a lot of work,
a lot of work. Sí, it's incredible. Manu, ¿alguna pregunta?
I have a very, very weird question.
Oh, shoot, Manu. Hit me with it.
Go.
Okay, you call adult leisure. You have the video of Control, who is very darkness with that old man.
Yeah.
The lyrics is what happened with you with the time and the being growing up. I think there's something there. Are you afraid of death? What happened with the people of adult leisure?
I think, I guess what I take from what you just said there is the music that we write is quite, I think the music itself, the instrumentation is quite bouncy and happy, but then lyrically it can be quite sort of more erring on the darker side. I think from our standpoint, we take a lot of inspiration from bands like The Cure, and the Smiths, and even someone like Joy Division. From my standpoint, like, we like to build this sense of almost like a juxtaposition of having this, on the ear you hear this really beautiful, like, dancey, happy track, but when you really listen to it, you realize actually someone's got some serious trauma, and it's just, I think that to be like genuine for a moment, I think if we can write these songs and write these stories, which are like a reflection of the things that we see, and people are able to take something from that, and I think that's a really, really beautiful thing. But yeah, Control is a special song. It's been around for a long time now. We love it in the set.
Muy bueno. Manu, ¿alguna otra? ¿Cómo pasó de Simply Red a Joy Division? Incredible that. Incredible. Sí,
yes.
Sí. Muy bueno. Sí.
One more question. I wanna talk about the sound of the bass because it's. I love that sound. What pedal do you use and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, cool. So I play with a. The first bass I had was actually just a Squier Jazz. No, sorry, a Squier Precision. And I've just got a Jag that is a PJ Jag, so it's a Precision and a Jazz with the pickup, and it is so fun to play. And the sound that can come out of it can either be really like drivey, really like punk drive, and that's how I kind of play bass. I downstroke a lot in bass, so that's why it's quite drivey in some of the new tunes. Pedals, I've got just a chorus pedal. At the minute, I've just got a big muff, which I'm looking forward to experimenting with. And I also got quite an old electro-harmonic synth pedal. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. But on most of the newer stuff, it's more chorus, to be honest with you.
Wow. Sí, it's lo que es una mezcla entre vintage y nuevo.
Finger. You use finger or pick?
Pick. Yeah.
I love that sound. Yes.
We always fight with Manu.
You can hear the difference.
See, but I don't like a pick. We always fight with Manu about it.
I love the bass with pick. I love it.
Do you two find if you're playing bass together, one's using the pick, one's using the fingers, it's like a little fight?
No. Manu is a guitar player, and I'm a bass player. But I love fingers, not a pick. But it's a war fight. No problem with that. See, but I think that the sound, the bass sound in Adult Leisure is beautiful. So great for that. It's really interesting. Manu, ¿alguna otra pregunta? Sí, vamos con otra. Sí. Can you tell us how do you produce your visual parts? The videos and the things for the social medias, who helps you?
Yeah, so in terms of the official music videos and stuff, it's kind of been something we almost built a little bit of a family with it. Previously, we worked with a guy by the name of Sam East. He's an incredible videographer in his own right, and we worked on with him for the likes of Things You Don't Know Yet, for Control, and we worked with him most recently with the All For You video, which was a lot of fun to kind of make. But I think for us, money is precious. We have very little of it, so I think we've tried to make sure that where we're putting our funding is in the right areas, and for us, in the age of short form videos being the main thing now, for on things like social media and stuff, we tried to put with the official videos actually see what we can do ourselves. So we're very lucky. I mean, the Dave is able to. He's very creative, and things like making videos for say Borderline. And for Kiss Me Like You Miss Her, we're a joint effort between Dave and Nathan to make those videos. So we've tried to keep things very DIY, but do enough research on our end to be able to make sure that it doesn't look DIY. Our most recent video for Kiss Me Like You Miss Her was shot on an iPhone. So we literally used an iPhone, and I think being able to be faced with those limitations of what we can afford to do actually created something pretty cool, that we can sit back and be pretty proud that we probably made the video that, you know, has done so well. People have really bought into the story behind Kiss Me Like You Missed Out and the video that we were able to produce. But things like our social media and those videos are, again, all us. Like, it's you know, we have a series on YouTube now called Leisure TV. I don't know whether you guys have seen it. Yeah. You've seen it, but that is literally us. It's just us being silly boys, silly boys, and you know, on tour, chatting absolute rubbish. And I think people are really, you know, they're able to see who we really are. And that's what's coming across well. I think there are so many bands out there. There's so much music out there. And what people really buy into now is the personality. Perfect. So if we can do something like Leisure TV, which takes a little bit of time for me to sit there and, you know, it's me shooting the videos there on the phone and editing that up, and it takes a couple of hours, but people see exactly who we are and what we're about. Exactly. That's incredible. Like, that's what people are really buying into now.
I always test the bands that I'm going to interview in my work. You know, I mean logistics, putting boxes everywhere. And when people in my work, where I work, it's like. Stop working, it works. So for me it's important, that's it. Another it happens. Manu, que pongo las canciones de los grupos que vamos a entrevistar, y cuando paramos de trabajar está buena la base. When we stop working, it's okay. And without it happens that. So it's really incredible. Y otra cosa que dijeron muy buena también, Manu, es que ellos, viste, no son una banda de gente de mucho dinero y tratan de hacer las cosas did it yourself, decían. De hacerlo a su manera, pero que no parezcan, que parezca algo súper producido, pero si le ponen un montón de huevos y pelotas, lo logran. Sí. La verdad que está muy bueno. Do you think, we have only 3 more questions, do you think that when you make the video, the meaning of the song change, or it's more the same?
I don't think so. I think we probably pay a little bit of attention to making sure that whatever the video is, it reflects the story that we're trying to tell. Okay. I think with Kiss Me Like You Missed It, we went in with that in mind. You know, it started off with kind of a basic idea of, or maybe it'd be cool to get, you know, someone running. You know, you see a lot of videos nowadays of just this running going on, and it can create a lot of emotion. But we were more conscious of not just having a running video and actually building out this story that tells the story that the song's trying to tell visually. So we probably do pay that kind of close attention.
Perfect. We understand that. Can you tell us something about Adult Leisure future plans? What are you going to do?
I feel like this year is quite an exciting year. We've obviously Luke's recently joined the band at the end of last year. So it's amazing to have him on board and be able to 2025, be able to take on 2025 together. We are planning on releasing a lot more music. I think there was a stage before we released Borderline where there was like 9 months, because of when we were faced with a situation where, like, actually financially it would have been quite difficult to do that, and with the amazing help of a GoFundMe that we set up back at the beginning of last year, we were able to raise enough funds to be able to get in the studio and write and record. And now we're in a position where we're able to, you know, to do that more regularly. And the plan is to never let the 9 months slip again. You know, we want to be releasing music regularly this year. There's certainly plans for some more touring as well, tour in the UK. Hopefully getting into Europe later this year as well. So you never know, guys. You never know. Get us across to Spain. That'll That'd be incredible.
So. Sí, we hope so. I think that you are a band to play in Barcelona because it's.
Do you know anyone that can get us in?
Maybe. Let's see what happens. Let's see. But maybe we are going to send you some contacts, maybe, and you can reach them. Let's see what happens.
Raúl, that's very, very kind.
No, of course.
Thank you very much.
Manu,
it would be amazing.
Sí,
you know?
¿alguna otra pregunta, Manu?
No, cerrémoslo.
¿Estamos bien? Sí. Just to finish the interview, we are going to play Happiness. Can you tell us something about that song?
Happiness was one of the first songs that we were writing at the time when we put our first EP out. It was a song when it's probably quite a prime example of us trying to find our feet with what adult leisure would be. It's probably quite different to the band that we are now, but a song with a lot of energy and venom and aggression, and really taking a hard look at the state of everything that you see today.
Perfect. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure to meet you. You really love music, and we like to speak with people like that. We are going to send you the interview, and thanks for your time and for your support. We can be in touch.
Raúl, Manu, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Ciao.
See you. Bye.
Mucho, Raúl.
Down in broad daylight, high times and we knew it, and our lips designed to fit right. These are the days that it all goes wrong. These are the days that I waited so long. When you're to suffer. A half guys, it's a warning to the sanctuary of our bed. These are the days that it all goes wrong. These are the days that I waited so long. When you're so another night, I'm stone victory. My knees are scratched for the weekend ritual.